Okay, we are recording. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
Hello. I think everyone's muted until once they pop on. Ooh, what is that? You can. Oh, like
someone's webcam.
I know. I was like, ooh, that's interesting. Cool. Let's see. Just waiting for everyone to pop on. Let's see. Everyone who is coming on to hi, Chrissy! Beautiful lady. Everyone who's hopping on, we are doing the basic foundations of natural witch work.
And if you're watching the replay, hello.
Hello, replay viewers.
Hello. Good morning.
Just wait one more minute for everyone to pop on. There's 70. Are you good now? We're here. We're good. Everyone's good. So
Devity was all the way ready.
You're so sweet. I love her so much. So typically when we do a master class, what we do is we send you the replay, but we don't do notes. So you might get a ton of information. You might have to watch the replay, but we find that that's how you best get what you need from it to write your own notes. Even if you miss something and you have to get the replay, that's awesome. I don't want you guys to have exactly our way of doing it. I want to teach you how it feels good for you to do it, especially with natural witch work and all of this stuff. So cool, everyone's popping on. Yay. Okay, one more minute and we will get started. I will start off with my thoughts on the whole concept of natural witch. And then today, as we get started, we are going to go over a very, very simple, is it Astrid? Astrid said I'm
Astrid, yeah.
Oh, you're so cute. So sweet. Thanks, Olivia. Oh my gosh, all these women. Yay. Oh my gosh. We're always surrounded by such cool, amazing women.
I know. Like we're hanging out. Hey, Susan!
Okay, so like
Olivia said she was in the wrong meeting. She hangs with us all the time.
She has too many Zoom calls of ours. She's like, I talk to them so many times a day.
Which day of the week is it? Right?
Like, where am I going? Me too. I was hanging out waiting for the room to start. Oh no! Oh my gosh! No! That's what happened. They're like, wait, what? That's hilarious. I love it. So, hey, Karen. Hey, guys. Awesome. So what we're talking about today is something that Shakisha and I feel is super important. My camera isn't working on my computer unless I'm a host. Oh, that's weird. Oh, I'm glad you're here, Kara. That's so weird.
Yeah.
That's okay. You can just look at our beautiful faces.
We'll look at your picture.
We'll look at your picture with your cute baby. So the reason that Shakisha and I felt so pulled to start this masterclass and to start adding some of the natural witch work to, let's see, we have so many good comments. Oh, feel better, Kim.
Feel better, Kim, and you're gorgeous as always.
So naturally pretty. So what we're doing is we really wanted to bring in and reclaim the concept of witch, because I know you guys have probably heard us talk about the shame behind it based on patriarchy and really allowing your natural witch to come up. And this isn't Wicca, this isn't dogma, this isn't, you know, I know based on the connotation, this isn't working with evil. This is all love and light. And the only real shadow part we work with is our own shadows, which is so potent and really what got us working deeper with the natural witch, because working with our shadows is an amazing way to bring forth our own desires and wills to get in alignment with the universe. So we really want to kind of you know, when something's so potent as the word natural witch that was revered and respected and loved and used as a way to heal the earth, you know, 3,000 years ago, is looked at now as some evil, like hush hush thing. Even those who are like, oh, well, people might judge me, so I'm not going to use the word. We keep adding it to the feelings of women should not use their own natural magic. Women should not use the magic of the earth. Women should, you know, keep their magic hidden and silenced and shushed and shamed. And so really, Shakisha and I were like, you know what, we're going to be super bold and start talking about natural witch work, because women need to be able to, and this is not just women as in a gender, the feminine energy of the collective needs to really be able to get into alignment with the will of the universe. So to start off, why we cast spells, I'm going to look for any question. Okay. Why we cast spells is a really physical way to do manifesting. Everyone's done some type of manifesting. You're always manifesting energy in and out of your life. Energy is coming and going at all times. We are part of this earth. We are stardust. This earth and us as humans are all made from the same thing. And the universal energies have a will, and that is their desires, their what's going to happen next, their energy connected to the force, to universal law. The universe has a will. We have our own personal will. Casting a spell is matching our shadow will, our conscious will, and the universal will all in alignment together. Because a lot of times people say, well, they say like you're in alignment. Nobody really knows what that means. Like, what does it mean to be in alignment? Hi, Danielle. I just clicked on that. What does it mean to be in alignment? What is in alignment? It's really when you do your shadow work and you start to see your unconscious desires. You're very aware of what your conscious desires are, and you get into the alignment with the will of the force, with the universe. And so casting a spell in many different aspects holds a container for your will, your subconscious will, your conscious will, and the universe's will to conspire together. That's really what you're doing, is you're conspiring with the will of the force, with the universe, with the cosmos, to create whatever you want in your life. A lot of times we just float around just hoping that shit works out for us. And in reality, there's a lot we can do about raising the consciousness, about bringing more of the universal will into our life. And so casting a spell as a natural witch is the perfect way to do that. Now, natural witch being one who uses her intuition because basically what Shakisha and I were talking about was your intuition is a natural witch. Your intuition does know how to create magic. Like letting out that divine, strong, like Kali, Shakti type energy within you that has her intuition and her ability to manifest, that is your natural witch. She's in you already. So why not like allow her to come up? Let's make witch mean something that is a powerful, trust her intuition, isn't afraid to share her authentic magic and medicine with the world. You know, the natural witch is a wise woman, an awakened woman. It's really hard to go through your spiritual awakening from that love and light and just being connected to spirit. You got to let that like bottom 3 chakra energies, that strong, earthy witch come out as well and become wholehearted in your spiritual journey. So someone who can heal herself and others, and that's really what a witch is, a natural witch. I mean, uses the elements of the earth. And when we use the elements of the earth, we use Gaia energy to help us physically hold that container for our manifesting cosmo energy. So it's a really beautiful way. What?
I'm excited over here. Go.
You're just making noises over there. She's just like, yes! Even though she's part of, she created half of this content. She's just like, we're so good.
Yes, it is. It is.
So when you deliberately cast a spell, this is something you might want to write down. When you deliberately cast a spell, you are powerfully interrupting your normally scheduled habitual spell casting, because we're always putting our will out into the universe to see new patterns into the collective consciousness, which is the universe, which is the will of the force. I'm going to post that for you guys. Shakisha, I'm squealing with you. Becky, I love you so much. Oh no, I posted that privately. Hold on, I'm gonna post that to everybody.
Okay, I was just about to do it for you, but cool.
Thanks. So today what we're going to do is we're going to walk you through the skeletal part of casting a spell as a natural witch. Mm-hmm. Now, the coolest thing about being a natural witch is creating your own spells. And one thing I want you to know, you can't do anything wrong. You're not, I'm 100% sure, if you've followed me in any way, going to create some evil shit. You're not going to put out into the world, I want to manifest some money, and then somehow your ex-husband dies in a car accident and that's your fault. Like, I know that's extreme, but I'm just saying, like, some people get scared to use magic because they're afraid they're going to set some intention that's evil or ill-willed, which is actually what caused all of the feelings towards women who are natural witches. Back before religion, before it became, a woman is either, pregnant or married, a virgin, or a whore, pregnant and married, a virgin, or a whore, right? We put women into those categories because they were the ones previously who were revered and respected and honored, and they used the nature, they used their ability to spellcast. They had all of the power because they used their abilities, and men were really there to help protect them in their magic. And so part of the connotation towards witch is the fact that, oh, they're evil, they can create evil. No, really, it's just that they're powerful. And so when you have the light worker, so when you combine natural witch, the bottom 3 chakras, with your light worker, top 3 chakras, and you become wholehearted, there's no ill intention. Even if you accidentally think something bad, you're not going to create ill intention that is outside of what you truly naturally desire. Go powerful. So we want you to play with your own spell casting. So take this outline of how to create a spell and create your own magic, and share it with us, because we're so interested in how a lot of you guys right now that are watching are feeling like, yes, like, I remember this. Like, if you guys like remember this based on like some really deep feelings in your soul, like if you're like,
which is why I'm over here squealing.
If this is a lot of like remembering to you guys,
Astrid said she cannot wait. I know we're gonna dive into some of the outline.
Remembering, yes, that's what it feels like to a lot of us that are here, is that sense of, I've done this before, this feels so good. Yes, you're speaking to my truth. You're remembering who you are as that wholehearted being. We've all been there. I have no doubt that all of us at one point was an active natural witch, using, our healing abilities, our abilities to use the earth elements. We all have done it. We've all been there. And so now we're going to give you the outline of how to cast a spell, knowing that you have to put your own personal touches into it to make it beautiful. And also, if you cast a spell and it doesn't work, this is a great way to look at how you are not in alignment, right? So always know to play with the spells, play with the energy, play with your elements, play
with your shadows, dance with your shadows too.
Yeah, exactly. And so we're going to talk about the outline of how to cast a spell, and then also throughout that, we're just going to give you some information on walking you through spells for making money or manifesting money, which is fun too. So. Okay,
let's be honest, everybody wants a money spell.
Let's be honest, nobody's gonna be like, I'm good with that.
Everybody wants a money spell. Let's just be 100 right here.
Kim goes, I like money.
Right, Kim?
I like money. All right,
okay, here we go. The first thing we're going to talk about, this is sort of like the top of your outline, is writing your own spell. Because there are no rules in magic, right? So we're going to use, like we said, we're going to use a money spell as an example throughout the outline that we're going to go through. But when you're doing magic, when you're casting spells, writing your own spell is really one of the best ways to really get into alignment with your own energy and what you're wanting, right? You don't have to follow a spell out of a book. The most important thing you want to remember is understanding and have a clear desire, right? Find inspiration. You can find inspiration from your life, or even from other spells and other books, and switch them up, right? You can research your correspondence. There's no right or wrong tools that you use. There's no right or wrong herbs, but there are lots of charts out there that give you ideas on what time of day you should cast a particular spell, what kind of herbs you can use. Really, when you're creating your own spell, you want to have fun with this, play with the information that's out there, right? And always doing what feels good. Follow your intuition. Your higher self is your natural witch. So if you're guided to go roll a candle in some glitter, do it. Whatever you're guided to do is going to be the right thing to do, right? So feel into your intuition, allow your higher self to guide you, and then have fun with it. You can write a spell for pretty much anything, but you want to make sure that when you're writing the spell, that you're bringing the energy of what you desire into your spell writing. So if you're feeling stressed out, if you feel like, you have to follow all the rules and you have to go out and buy all the things, that be mindful of the energy you're bringing into your spell writing. Everyone with me so far? Okay. Rules of spell casting.
It can be like therapeutic too, writing your
spell. Like very, very therapeutic, very clearing. I find it, because when I'm writing a spell, I'm thinking about what I desire, and I'm thinking about the shadows, and I'm working with all of it together, and I'm having a good time creating the spells. So the first rule is that there are no rules when you're writing a spell. The secret to casting a spell is to follow your intuition, your higher self. Allow your higher self what feels good from here, from your heart space, to guide you. If you decide to use a spell of a spell book, break the rules. Change things up. If there's a part of the spell that you would feel like you could do differently or want to do differently, a different color candle, a different tool, do that. Feel free to break the rules and change it up. Make it your own. A few key tools that you could have on hand would be candles and incense. You could use herbs, oils, anything that comes from the earth and it's non-synthetic. You want it to be as natural as possible. And then get creative. I can't stress that enough. Don't overcomplicate things with too much stuff, but be creative. As long as you're having fun and it feels good to you, then it's going to be right. Okay? Let's see. I think I'm going to copy and paste this for you real quick.
I also wanted to tell you guys, the biggest part of using your lightworker ability and casting spells is, so many people say, how can I open my spiritual gifts? How can I open my spiritual gifts? Cast a spell. Use your magic to open your spiritual gifts. There is so much power. Set intentions to open up your gifts, because that's what you're doing when you're casting spells and you're setting intentions. You're using that bottom three chakras, matching it up with your top three chakras, becoming wholehearted. It is a really, really, really powerful way to open up your spiritual gifts. And I just posted Llewellyn's is a great, she posts a lot of online different spells and stuff. I think you can even go to her website and she has a spell a day. So look up Llewellyn. She's like the big spell person. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the next step is to plan and prepare for our spell, right? The first thing we need to do is we need to get into the right energy. We need to do whatever we do that feels good to raise our energy. So listen to your favorite music while you're casting a spell. Maybe you love to listen to drumming. Maybe you love to listen to beating bowls. Maybe you love to listen to binary music. Whatever feels good, listen to some music while you're casting your spell. The best spells are sometimes very impromptu and and quick and casual. They're not fussy and overly complicated. So I think we covered that a little bit before, but I want to stress it here again. You want to be familiar with your spell. So whether you're writing your own spell or you're using a spell from a book or online, you want to read it a few times and really get familiar with the spell. Lexi says, I love listening to music when spending time with my higher self. I did that last night, felt completely high out of my body. It was amazing. Awesome. That's great, Lexi. So yeah, if you're using a spell out of a book, read it over and over, make sure there isn't anything you're going to change, and then get really familiar with your spell before you start the casting process. The next thing you want to do once you're familiar with your spell is you want to start gathering all the items that you feel like you're going to use when you actually do the casting of your spell. So if you're using incense, have your incense ready. If you're using candles, if you're using both, have them ready. If there's some sort of an offering, whatever tools you're using in your spell, you want to have all of that stuff with you and prepared. And you also want to, I like to, and I know Laureen does this as well, in our planning and preparing for a spell, we get into a meditative state and we call in the deity that we're closest to. So oftentimes when I do spells, I'm casting spells with Isis, with Kali. I also work a lot with Shakti. You want to call in the deity you're most connected with to sort of help you as you're casting your spell and bring that energy into your space. I light my candles as I'm calling in my deity. So I call in the deity and then I light my candles, because some of my candles that I light are an offering to my soul council, to my deity, to my higher self. So I light my candles during the planning and preparing stage.
And another good thing that we in our next masterclass are going to go over is the planetary deities, and a really good way to connect with your physical spell casting is connecting with the planets. So I work with Jupiter a lot, and Jupiter would be a good, if you're just beginning spell casting. I know we're getting into the money spell. Jupiter works with success in business and money. So you can call in that deity as well, because the different planetary deities are really, really, really interesting to learn about when we're starting to get deeper into the spell casting. So,
ooh, sneak peek at new content. Okay, so for our money spell, this is how we're going to plan and prepare. First of all, the best time to do a money spell is during the new moon, a waxing moon, or the full moon. The best days would be Sunday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So for this particular money spell, you will need a gold, green, or a white candle. A lot of times spells will call for different color candles. If you don't have that color, white is a good sort of multi-use choice. So when in doubt, go with white. But there are spells that call for different color candles. Mint and cloves are good herbs for a money spell. So you want to gather your herbs. And then you want to think about how much money you want or need. Write that down on a piece of paper. So for example, you can write, I need $5,000 saved in the next 4 months so I can quit my job.
And then I'll send this over for you guys too for the spell. But I also wanted to say, Kim said 2 million. Don't put a sad face, Kim. Stop it. You stop that. I also wanted to say, so what we're doing with this money spell is we are bringing something in, right? So when we focus on lunar phases, which we will be doing, we'll go deeper with all this another time. Lunar phases. But a good thing to remember when you're wanting to know when is a good time to do this. When the moon is waxing from new moon to full moon, so it's getting bigger, you're bringing things in. So we're bringing in money. If you want to cut cords with an old relationship or get rid of limiting beliefs or work on something you want to get rid of, you do that from the full moon to the waning moon. So the first part, when it's waxing, when it's going to new to full, that's when we bring things in. If you want to get rid of things, you do it from full to the waning process. Just so you know, waxing is when you bring things in.
All right, so we've planned and prepared. Now it's time to cast our circle. So casting the circle is really about creating the container to collect and hold the energy of your spell, right? So at this time, you're going to take, if you're using white candles, you're going to take your candles and place them in a circle in your casting space. You want to be in a space where you're undisturbed, obviously, where you can really harvest the energy of the space. So you want to create a circle with your candles. You want to light them, and you want to use sage or incense to clear the energy of your space. Once you have lit your candles and saged or used your incense, you want to walk around the circle of your candles clockwise. Do this as many times feels good to you. Some spells or some spell books will tell you to walk around 3 times, 6 times, do whatever feels good. 1 time is even enough if you feel the energy of the space. You should feel the energy shift. You also want to call in the quarters as you're walking around the circle. So earth is to the north, air is to the east, fire is to the south, and water is to the west. I'm slowing down because I see everyone taking notes.
I posted a friend too.
Awesome. All right.
Astrid said, my husband is super sensitive to smell. Is there a way to do this without making smells apparent? Like the candles?
If it's the sage or the incense, Astrid, you could also get some water, put it in a spray bottle with a little bit of lavender essential oil and a little bit of white sage essential oil. Make a sage smudging spray. It's less pungent.
You do not have to sage. You can also just set the intention. You can clear energy with your intention. Yeah, if your husband doesn't like sage, like some people are very against it. I'm obsessed.
My daughter hates it too.
But yeah, you don't have to do that.
Or just smell the smell.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you could do that.
Totally.
It's all about intention. So if you really wanted a tool, you could make a smudge spray. But you can also just set the intention that the energy of the space is clear. Ask your guides too if you want to do that.
Yep.
Okay, so now that we have casted our circle, the next step is to ground and center. And the reason we ground and center is really important. It's so we're not drawing off of our own energy, but we're drawing on the energy of the universe. Drawing from our own energy can be exhausting and draining when we're casting spells. For me, I'm going to share my grounding and centering practice, and then Laureen's going to share hers because they're kind of a little different, but do what feels good. So for me, I bring energy from above, from the ethers, down through my crown chakra, all the way through, ground into Gaia. I have Gaia provide energy from below. I bring it all the way up through my chakras to my heart space. So energy from above meets energy from below in my heart space. From there, I expand my energy out as much as feels comfortable. Because I do this often, I can now expand my energy out past the planet and into into other dimensions. DNA activation is the bomb, y'all. I expand my energy out into other dimensions. But you can expand your energy out around your home. You can expand your energy out outside of the room that you're in, whatever feels good. So I expand my energy out that way, and I'm grounded from above and below into my heart chakra. That's how I ground and center before spell casting. Laureen, how do you do it?
Mine's very similar. You steal my things. I'm just kidding. So when I ground my energy, I take the energy also. So I sit in meditation. First, I start by opening my heart chakra, because you're being a wholehearted light worker is so very important. So many times we stay in the top 3 chakras. That's my number one tip of being a light worker or a natural witch, or bringing them together, is being wholehearted. So I rub my hands together, and this activates, because you have chakras on the ends of your palms that go across to your heart chakra. So I activate my heart chakra, and I put my hands down, and I just allow that energy to go across my chest into my heart chakra. And then I ground energy from above into my heart, energy from below into my heart, and then I expand my heart like Shakita said. Same days. That's what I do.
I'm sorry, I'm just answering a question.
That's okay, Shakisha. You don't have to apologize.
All right. So now that we've grounded and centered, the next step is to raise the energy. So you can do this in a number of different ways. Again, this is all about what feels good. You can do this by simply breathing and spending time with your breath, dancing, singing, chanting, drumming. All of those are good ways to raise the energy. The one that I happen to like is listening to shamanic drumming music and dancing around my circle that I've casted. But that's me. You can do this however feels good to you. Lexi says, I love shamanic drumming too. I love drumming.
I'm so obsessed with shamanic drumming. It's ridiculous.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
It like centers me.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's.
And for the chanting part, if I do chant, sometimes there are common chants that you can say for the deity that you've called in. Sometimes I just, Lexi is in love. Hi, boo. I see you. Chanting whatever feels good. It could be anything. You can make it up.
I literally, when I chant, I just let it come up, and it sounds so weird.
It can even be just sounds, right, Laureen? Like for me, sometimes it's just a sound.
It feels so good.
It feels good. Yes, exactly. So you might feel a little bit.
It's like, what are you speaking in tongues? What are you doing?
Exactly. Oh my God, yes. See, we learned something new about each other today. I thought it was just me. Okay, so you want to raise the energy. You can spend as much time in this place as feels good to you, but you should feel at this point, the energy just shifting. You feel different. You feel more powerful when you've raised the energy. All right. Next step is to do the spell work. Again, this is whatever feels good. It can be as simple as you just stating an intention. You can cast a spell with no tools at all. If you don't have candles, don't feel like you need to run out and buy them. But if at this point we're casting our spell, it's really simple. It's whatever feels good. So for our money spell, you're going to want to write this down. For our money spell, we're going to gather our supplies and our piece of paper that we wrote the dollar amount that we want on there, right?
No. Becky just gave us like the best compliment ever, and I'm totally running with this. She said we're weird and wise.
Whoop whoop! Thank you.
I love that. I love it so much. You guys need
Ashton said we're weird and awesome. Oh, thank you. Okay, so for our money spell, we're going to gather our supplies, which is, we've already casted our circle, our candles are lit. We're going to grab that piece of paper that has the amount of money on it that we wanted. We're going to light an incense. If you don't have an incense, don't trip. We've casted our circle, and now it's time to state the intention. So we're going to ask for what we wrote. We're going to take the piece of paper with the amount on it, and we're going to place our herbs, clove and mint, on the paper. We're going to fold the edges to meet in the middle so that we're making a little pocket with the herbs and the writing on the inside. Then we're going to take the wax from our candle, and we're going to drip the wax while chanting the following spell. Also remember how you're feeling as you're doing this, as you're casting the spell. Remember to pay attention to how you're feeling. You want to feel what it feels like to have the money. Okay, and here's the spell. Money in my pocket, pocket full of herbs, fire from the candle, manifest my words. And Maureen has copied and pasted that for you guys. Ooh, feels good. Okay, so we've casted our spell. Now it's time to ground and close. So to close your circle, let the deity and the quarters know that the spell has ended by calling them out again. You can give them thanks for their energy. So just simply thanking the deity, thanking the elements and the quarters. Walk around your circle that you've casted, your candle circle. You're going to walk around that counterclockwise and say, the circle is closed. Do that as many times as feels good to you. You could just do it once if you like. You could do it 3 times, 4 times, whatever feels good. Then you're going to clean up. Don't be messy with your magic. Put all of your stuff away. The money paper that has the seal, that's been sealed with the wax, you can place that under the new moonlight in your windowsill. Blow out your candle, or you can let that candle burn. If you're using a tea light candle, you can let it burn under the moonlight if it's safe. Be safe with your magic. But you can place that wax sealed paper in the window like you would with your crystals or your oracle cards or your moon water. You set it outside.
And then also, can I say, like we were talking about using natural, really good materials.
Yeah.
Olivia, who's here right now, she has her own business where she makes incense, and they're natural. She makes them herself. She has beautiful intentions behind them. If you want to contact Olivia, because you don't want to just get any incense that some are made from crap. You want to make sure that what you're using has good intentions behind it. Also, this is a big one. When you're buying sage, make sure it's not coming from somewhere that you know where it's coming from, because some places use like slave labor in other countries.
Slave labor, yeah.
So you have to be very, you want where the materials you're coming from, that are coming to you, to have good intentions behind them. So be careful where you buy your stuff. Not to be fearful, just be careful where you buy your stuff. But Olivia, I love her incense, and they're natural and they have beautiful intentions behind them. And so I just wanted to put that out there. Sometimes we're like, well, where do I get the natural things? So
yes. Olivia's incense are amazing. They're what I'm using in my sacred space right now. So I love them.
Actually,
Olivia says she casts spells when she makes them.
See, there you go. So, my right now I have a offering set up for Jupiter, because Jupiter for the next year is in Jupiter's in Scorpio, which is a really interesting time for light workers to make money and to be successful. Anyways, I have offerings to Jupiter, and all of my offerings right now are from Olivia. Like everything she has given me, she gave us some stuff at the retreat, and she gave me some stuff. Like, I have these really beautiful scents that are in there. And
I use the satchel for my offering.
Yeah, nice satchel to my offering. That offering for Jupiter. So everything I'm offering for Jupiter right now is from Olivia.
Wow, Devandy has incense were gifted to her from, I can't pronounce that word.
That's beautiful.
From a medicine doctor in the Himalayan mountains.
That's awesome. I love it.
Yes.
That would be so great to use.
Perfect.
Does it matter if I ask for a large sum? No. Heck no.
No, you can ask for whatever you want.
Absolutely.
We're going to talk about the final step, which is called action and accord. So after you've closed
Monica, I will, for sure.
Can you explain a little bit more about offerings for Jupiter?
When we're done with this, I will.
Yeah. So the last step is action and accord. So let's wrap this up so we can talk about Jupiter, because I know we've got a lot of business mamas on here. So the next thing you want to do is take inspired action on your spell.
That's I feel like people miss that part a lot.
Yeah, they miss that part. It's like you cast a spell and you're just waiting for it to fall out of the sky. You need to look for signs. Use your intuition. Look for coincidences that point you in the direction of what you want, and take some action. For money, you want to follow the inspired ideas that make you money.
Like,
girl, go do
readings?
this. this group program, and you have to have a reading 50 million times to tell you to go do the group program. Do it the first time. Come on. If your spell comes true, you want to discard and release any of the charms, bags, offerings, satchels, anything that was holding the space and the energy of your spell. You want to go ahead and discard of that if your spell has come true, or when your spell comes true. But if your spell didn't work, as Lorraine mentioned earlier in the call, look at where you were not in alignment, where you weren't fully integrated and in alignment with what you desired. Spells can take time. So if you cast a spell this month for money and you didn't get $2 million, Kim, don't give up on your spell. Don't give up on the energy. The good news is that magic is your own. Power and frequency is still on your side. The universe still has your back. Their space is still being held for that. Just keep taking inspired action so that your spells come true. And make sure you're looking at your shadows. That's the other thing. So if your spell doesn't come true, when I say look at where you're not in alignment, look at where you have any shadows around what you're wanting. And Maureen and I are thinking about running that masterclass again very soon.
The shadow work, yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, so let's talk about Jupiter.
Well, so first, that's like the bare bones, like how the reason we wanted to give you, like we said when we started this is the basics of spell casting, because you guys are all light workers. The best spells that you guys are going to cast are based on those basics and whatever feels good to you. Yes, excited about the shadow work class. But how do you know if you're taking inspired action?
Does it feel good?
Feel it. Your ego is asking that right now.
Mm-hmm.
You feel into inspired action.
Kara says, where can we learn more about shadow work? Kara, we're going to be running our shadow work masterclass again.
Because it was so popular. Like people had such good feelings about the shadow work masterclass.
And have had amazing results since.
I know. Do you see how we're all putting this together? It's all coming together, guys.
All coming together.
And seriously, you guys are so beautiful. And like
Susan is over there going, yes, do the shadow work master.
Thanks, Susan. I'm glad you liked it.
Thanks, Carolyn. I see you too, babe.
It's perfect time for shadow work. It is, especially in the wintertime.
Yes.
Where can we learn? Okay, so, and then Lexi said, but sometimes you may feel good about something that is good for you, but fears come up. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Well, fear isn't a reason to stop doing anything. Fear is not protecting you from not moving forward. Fear is not an excuse not to do it. Fear comes up all the time. I feel fearful. I've done a million master classes. I get fearful when I press go live. I'm just like,
yeah.
Like,
before these classes, I'm like,
inspired action. You're like the idea behind this master class, right? Shakisha and I have been, teaching Witchy stuff and doing Witchy stuff for a while, but the inspired action came when we were talking about what we enjoy and what we wanted to do. And we were like, let's do this, and then let's do this, and then let's do this. But then fear will come in and be like, well, nobody cares. Nobody wants to bare bones. Nobody really cares about doing this. Everyone thinks witchy stuff is weird. Don't do that. But we did it anyway. Mm-hmm. Like, our egos would be like, hey, people are going to think you're weird because you're talking about witches. And we're like, but we feel so strongly about the natural witch that we're going to do it anyways. Inspired action feels good. It's all about how you're feeling in the moment. What did Becky say? Lexi, I feel you, girl. Ego keeping you safe. I don't feel good. That's what I meant to say. Oh, so sometimes I don't actually feel good about something, but then later realize I should have moved forward with it. Yeah. So you feel like, so you're saying you didn't feel, I don't know. Let's talk to Lexi. Let's get an example. Let's talk to Lexi.
Okay.
Good.
Hey guys.
Hi.
Okay. So I mean, sometimes like something will happen and later on I'll realize that I should have taken inspired action, but because I didn't actually feel good, I didn't move forward because I was afraid or because I got nervous and thought, oh, maybe that people won't like it, or maybe that's not what I should have done. And then later on, I'll realize that, no, that was actually a sign from the universe to move forward. So my feelings actually betrayed me in that moment. So how do I tell in those moments when it's easy when you feel good, but what about the times when your fears or whatever kind of steps in. And so now your feelings aren't telling you that it's inspired action.
You have
But Lexi, you know the difference between your intuition and fear.
Yeah. And also I feel like the good feeling for you is fleeting. So you get this idea and then you're like, oh, but all of these things can happen.
That's what we were talking about. Like the inspired action comes up,
so it's like really
and then
quick
all the
for you.
But you wouldn't have had the idea. You wouldn't have thought to do that. You wouldn't have felt it. The fear wouldn't have come up if it wasn't an inspired action.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha.
Because what other reason do you have to feel fearful? Your ego's thinking, oh Lord.
Right. Yeah. And that's true too. But if you're an ideas type of person, you're always coming up with ideas. So how do I know in that moment that idea is actually inspired action versus just me thinking? And then when I add the feeling to it, then it creates this confusion.
Check into your heart chakra, Lexi.
Okay. Thinking.
An idea, when you're just thinking, it's in here.
Yeah.
Right.
And then how does it feel?
That is inspired, you feel it. I don't care how fast it happens, but you're gonna feel it.
You're right.
I think about shit all day long. I'm like, oh, I should do this. I should do this. I should do this. I should do this. The thing I'm like, oh, that feels really good. I run with that. Then the fear comes up. The fear always comes up. Every single time I put myself out there, Lexi, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. Every single time I put myself out there, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. When I started this live for a second, this Zoom, I've done 1 million Zoom calls. I've been doing this for 13 years. As soon as I pressed go live, I felt, oh, I'm gonna throw up, and then everyone shows up and I see your beautiful faces and everyone wants the next course and the next thing that we do, and it feels easier. But fear comes in every single time I create a sales page or I literally want to throw up.
When we even have the idea, when we birth an idea and we're like, oh, we're going to do this masterclass, we're like, oh my God.
Yeah, every single time. I create a course and that course is going to be the worst thing ever. Nobody wants to do that. Okay, that came out. It still feels good. Let's go.
Okay, I feel you. All right, thank you. Thank you.
I hope that it's helpful.
Yeah.
That's the thing too. We are super confident in what we do. We're super confident. We know we're meant to do this. We know we're going to be successful. Every single time we have ego stuff come up. Every single time. Every time. Even if it's Masterclass. I know what I'm talking about.
We just outlined the bomb-ass course we're launching next year. And even while we were outlining it, so we had all the feels like, oh my God, yes. Oh my God, yes. Oh my God, yes. And a few days later, we're like, oh, but what about this? What about that? But we know that that's just ego. It's just ego. We're going to keep it moving.
And then there's times that I think something and I'm like, that's dumb. Yeah, no, that feels dumb. Okay, scrap it. Moving on.
And also having support, because we have each other to bounce that off of, right? So she'll be like, oh, that's dumb. I'm like, no, you're kidding. People need to know that. She's like, really? And vice versa. So, again, community, sisterhood, all of it is so important to a light worker's journey. You have to have people that you can lean on.
All right, so I wanted to just give you some advice, and then we'll talk about Jupiter if you guys are still interested and want to hang on. Writing your own spells. So there's nothing wrong with following spells out of a book, especially Llewellyn's. They're really good. They're simple. They're easy. Like I said, I think there's a website she posts it's like a business now. It was a person, now it's like a business. Had spells, but the most fun and powerful ones that I've ever done were created on my own. And the actual writing of the spell is what you desire. Like the whole casting of the spell is the setup that we just went through, right? We went through the whole casting of the spell. Use those there's 6 points of it to create your own thing from it. And then you're going to create more magic. So, you have to prepare and do your own preparation. Like use the outline we did to make your own. Actually, yes, that's for all of us. It's just part of the adventure. Yeah. Exactly. So writing your own spell. So that's actually the writing of the spell part. So first you have to do what you desire for your spell. What's the outcome? Connect to the divine for inspiration. Get a little bit either specific or do either a really specific spell, or you can do an overall spell. Those are to have the intention behind I want to get really specific, or the intention behind I want this overall feeling. And then also using tarot or oracle cards as an idea or inspiration for your next spell is such a good idea. Finding inspiration from other spells. So like I said, you can look at other spells or books, but then also create your own from that. So inspiration. Also, following your instincts and intuition, you're going to go about your day. You have this information now. It's stored in you. You remembered part of it. You're going to have inspiration that comes up that you're like, I need to write a spell about this. Oh my gosh, this would be the amazing thing to write a spell with. So using your own intuition and instincts, using correspondence charts. So if you look up a spell for money correspondence chart or a spell for money candle colors, they're going to give you a chart on like what day of the week is good, what time of the month, what time of the moon cycle is good. So corresponding charts are a good way to research how to write your own spells. Would you say, Shakisha?
I was saying even the time of day, because there are like particular hours, like the witching hour is really good for, you know, new intentions. And
so you can get really specific with it. I always do mine in the morning because I'm a morning person. That's what I have the most energy, the most connection. And then also getting ready for the magic. I often get hidden messages in the middle of my spell work or ritual. There's a lot of messages and magic that comes up while I'm doing it in itself. Yes. I've experienced this with a group as well. We have a mentorship program that we're going to start doing spells with in a group setting, doing it as a collective. Woo! Amplified power for sure. And also remember there's no right or way wrong to do that, but also you're going to start getting massive intuitive downloads, messages, new ideas and information in the middle of or right during a spell work or right after. So be open to that. That happens to me even more intensely than meditation. I start getting messages, downloads, information. Yep. So set the intention to be able to do that. And then also, I'm just reading some of my notes that I didn't put on our computer. There's also no right or way to do it. You don't have to do elaborate things. Some of my best spells have been spur of the moment, flash of inspiration, where I grab a few items from a stash of witchy supplies. It is also really good energy to have all your witchy supplies in one like stash on your altar, next to your altar, in a cabinet. That's where you set the intention of bringing it out of the stash is also like an intention setting. And cast a circle in the middle of like my room or my office, like just the power.
Go for it. Yeah,
for sure. So that's some of it. So writing your own spells is really a good way to get connected to your intuition, to get connected to your raw emotional witchiness, and to start opening your spiritual gifts too. The big reason why we got really set on our spell work and teaching spell work and the witchy things is because it really helps with the spiritual development as well. It really helps you through the process of a spiritual awakening. So that's why this is really important to us. I hope that was helpful. Like we said, it was going to be the basic surface scratching so that you guys can start creating your own magic. And also we wanted to give you permission. I think sometimes when it comes to natural witch stuff, people have some reservation. They feel weird about it. They're not sure if they're going to do it right or if it's not going to be good enough or whatever. We wanted to give you permission that you guys are light. You guys are loved. I want you to have fun. I want you to get deep with yourself, deep with the spiritual work, deep with the rituals. Get really deep with creating your own magic, and your life will start to change. And please share in the Woo Collective all the cool things that you guys discover when you're casting your own spells. Where can I find the mentor? We're actually opening it up in a few weeks. We have one now. We're opening it up. We open and close it. It's just a small monthly spiritual development mentorship group. I love this so much. I love my weird white sister. So we love you too.
We love you too, Becky.
That's what we have for spell casting. If you have to hop off or whatever, I will continue. I don't have a ton of information, but I will continue with my information about Jupiter, and I can tell you also how to set up offerings. Whew. So Jupiter. So when you're casting spells, we didn't get too deep with it yet. Alexis, I love offerings. It's so easy. Offerings are so easy. So when you're casting spells, you can add in offerings to planetary deities is the best way to do it. The moon we're so connected to is because it's our closest planetary outside of the earth thing. I don't even know what to say. It's the closest thing outside of the earth to us. So the moon the moon pulls all the water on earth, right? And so we're made out of 75% or 80% water. And so we're very connected physically to the moon as well. So we work with the moon and the planetary deities. So we're going to have more information on how and what all of the deities mean, which ones to connect to. But Jupiter is, and I wish if I can pull up my notes as I'm talking, Jupiter is very connected to light workers and being successful in business. Hold on one second. So can you tell them about, no, I can tell them about this next year until November 2018.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm looking up my notes about Jupiter.
I think everyone should know. We've been singing this for months. But Jupiter, what was it? Sag?
If Jupiter's in Scorpio.
No. In Scorpio.
Yep.
Who was an S? So Jupiter has moved into Scorpio and will be there for the next year. I think it's like November 23rd or 25th of 2018.
Yep.
Really, really powerful energy for light workers who have businesses or want to start businesses.
Yep.
It is a power year. This is the year you set the big goal, the unbelievable, the goal that you thought was unreachable. This is the year to do that. So we have been trying to encourage everyone over the last, probably since September, maybe.
Yeah.
Trying to encourage everyone to use this last quarter of 2017 to prepare and build momentum going into 2018. You really want to maximize this energy because this is the year you hit goals that people and society say are impossible.
Yeah.
The energy is there to support that. So
it's a rare opportunity.
Now, if you haven't, building up things for your business rolling into 2018.
Thank you, Shakira.
You can hit the goals that society says you can't make in your first year of business. The goals society say you can't make if you're not in business 5 years. I'm calling bullshit. The energy says bullshit. This is the time. Start building up the momentum to smash your goals in 2018 because the energy is completely behind you.
So, and like I said, this is a really rare opportunity for light workers because there has been transition periods from the age of darkness, which has been the last 2,000 years, strong patriarchy, into the age of light, which has happened. It started in, the transition started in the 70s, but also like more recently in 2000, in 2012, when the Mayan calendar ended. And then now with Jupiter and Scorpio, which hasn't happened in like it was a really long time. It's the age of light. So Jupiter is getting behind the light workers. So if you
it's our time.
If you want to influence Jupiter to help grow your business even more, get money, raise a career, start a new job, Jupiter's attitude is all about, so if you're going to get into Jupiter attitude, the thing about working with planetary deities is they have personalities, they have like attitude. So if you want to be in the attitude of Jupiter, now that Jupiter's in Scorpio and you're going to be successful, you get really happy and honest with yourself and how much work you want and what work you have that provides value to others and makes others' lives better. Dress in a way that makes you feel good. Wear lapis jewelry, so the crystal lapis. Put on crisp, peppery citrus scents. Recognize and celebrate every little success that you have. Host events that give other people a chance to make useful connections and enjoy themselves. Introduce people to each other who might work well together. Laugh. See yourself as the sovereign, amazing, responsible person that you are. Read books about making money. Like, so what's my favorite one? Jen Sincero, You Are a Badass at Making Money. Something like that. take a leap of faith, hire a coach or a mentor, or mentor people yourself. Start making yourself and what you offer more visible to others. Put yourself out there, get professional photos, learn Facebook ads. That is how you get into the energy of the planetary deity. Also, Jupiter is all about the Jupiter color is silver. It's all about white. Jupiter is all about the quartz crystal and lapis. That's how you say it.
Lapis, yeah.
Those are offerings. Making offerings of really good homemade milk. So cashew milk, almond milk is a really good offering to Jupiter.
I just made some.
Yeah, I was going to tell you that. I forgot to tell you about that. Jupiter's, let me look at my list of
Devandy knows because she's my health and nutrition coach.
See, we all support each other.
Yes, I love me some Devandy.
So there are more things that you can actually physically offer to, I think I have it here, Jupiter. And so when you make an offering, what you do in your sacred space, you create a, and I'll actually I'll list what the offerings to Jupiter are, but that's the attitude around Jupiter, to start behaving in a way that Jupiter supports. And then you create a sacred space in your area. What I have is a crystal, a natural incense, some bath salt is really good for Jupiter offering. And you can think of Jupiter as like grandfather of success, like someone who is looking over you, loving you, and supporting you for success. What you do is you set up anything on your sacred space to offer to Jupiter. I sit down every morning. I light my candle. I have a white candle for Jupiter that's just for the offering. I light it every morning, and I thank Jupiter for the help and support that we have. I do my meditation, I do my morning ritual, and then I blow out the candle and thank Jupiter for that. So if you guys are starting a business or you're into a spiritual business, I would really recommend Jupiter in the next few months to work on as your planetary deity. And in the replay, the email that we send out, I'm going to list exactly the different elements that Jupiter likes, because I wasn't expecting to talk about Jupiter. I don't have my list in front of me. At least I had the attitude one, because that's like the best, but I'll list that out as well. So every planet has its own offerings that is connected to it energetically. And I will let you know about Jupiter, but on our next class, our next witchy masterclass, we'll talk more about the deities.
Yes, I totally called Danielle out. I don't know why, Danielle. I was just like, I need to call you out.
Totally read my mind. Yes. So, and offering is anything that feels good to you in your sacred space.
Olivia? Where's Olivia? Oh, there you are. You too, babe.
I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope that this was helpful for you. Like I said, I know it was the outline of it, but really we're setting up the ability for you guys to create your own magic in this. So, Yay! Okay, we love you guys so much.
Love you guys later.
And watch
fun, cast a spell, and let us know how it goes.
Yes, let us know on the Woo Collective and tag us on how it goes.
Yes.
Bye, guys.
Bye.